Hey guys, Lionel here again. So this is part 2 of your home workout for the Dragon Boating team. This is lower body. So after you followed the program and warmed up and did your interval work, you're going to come back in and we're going to finish out with some leg work. Okay? There's going to be no cardio at the end. We're just going to tire out the legs, do a little bit of core, and then call it a day. So for this exercise, you're going to need your dumbbells, you're going to need your chair, and you're still going to need a mat for comfort. Not a necessity, but it certainly does help. Okay? So the very first exercise is a squat pulse. The squat pulse is easy. You can be shoulder to hip width apart. Shoulder to hip width apart on your squat, and then you're going to reach back like you're reaching for a seat behind you. A correct squat isn't going forward, it's going back behind you. So I like to keep the hands forward just to kind of keep my balance, okay? Keep the weight in your heels, not in your toes. You reach back, you get down low on your squat, and then once you're down there, you just pulse. Again, keeping the weight in your heels. So pulsing up and down, we're just going to do 10 pulses. Once you get to 10, you're going to straighten out the legs, rest just a few seconds, and then come right back down. 10 pulses. Once you get to 10, straighten out the legs, and then come right back down. We're going to do that 5 times in a row, okay? That really kind of tires out the leg. It's also good for your lower back. The next exercise is going to be a dumbbell lunge. I know the lunges are hard for a lot of people. If you don't have healthy knees, you need to be careful. So I gave you guys a few options. For the dumbbell lunges, you can grab some weights if you'd like, or you can do it without weights. I definitely suggest maybe start without weights, and then once you get better at them and at this workout, progress to trying different weights, okay? So the lunges you can do, if your knees are healthy, are going to be a walking lunge. So on any kind of lunge, what's important is that your knee stays in line with your ankle. What you don't want to do is go forward on your lunge like this, okay? Just puts just a little bit too much pressure on the knee joint. So what I always like to do, a good way to just do a normal lunge, a safe lunge, is once you step, you drop the back knee. If you're dropping your back knee, it's going to put this knee in a perfect angle for a safe lunge, okay? So on a walking lunge, you would just step forward, drop the back knee. Step forward, drop the back knee. So the 3 lunges you can do are going to be the walking lunge or a step lunge. A step lunge is you're just going to step forward, press off. Step forward, press off. This is good if you don't have a lot of space. You can do this in your house or just in a room. For this one, the harder you press off, the better it works. You want to try to just explode out of that lunge. Again, trying to keep good form and keeping the weight in your heels on the way back up. Breathing on this one's going to be important. The breathing is breathe out on the way up. Just like that, back and forth. If you're using dumbbells, hold them to your side, okay? The safest kind of lunge you can do for yourself is the up and down lunge. For the up and down lunge, I like to hold on to something. We're going to put you in this position where your toes are in the ground and your heels off the floor. Then right here, you're just going to drop the back knee, come back up. Drop the back knee, come back up. The lower you go, the more pressure there is on your knees. So if you do have knee issues, you can just do them pretty short, Obviously, you know your body better than I do, and not every workout is going to work out for everybody. So if you do have knee issues and the lunges feel a little iffy, then cut them out. You don't have to do them, okay? You can just stick to squats and just do some of the other stuff, okay? So after the lunges, we're going to move on to a Romanian deadlift. This is kind of a tough exercise, but again, it's kind of specific to your sport. We need to strengthen the lower back as well as the hammies. So the deadlift is typically just leaning forward and coming back up. What a Romanian deadlift is just a bent knee version of the same exercise. The bent knees is just going to make it a little bit safer, in my personal opinion, and just a little less pressure on your lower back. So for this exercise, you want to be hip width apart. Start with the bend in your knees, hold in your core. The dumbbells are just going to be off to your side, and then you're going to lean forward slowly. Go all the way down your shoelaces, and then arch your back and come back up, and breathe on the way up. Down slowly, breathe on the way up, arch your back, and come back up. I almost like to hang my dumbbells forward because that's going to make sure you're engaging the hammies. On this exercise, don't overdo it. It does put a lot of pressure, or a little bit of pressure on your back, but where you're trying to engage is your hamstrings. You'll feel your hammies, you'll feel your glutes, and you'll feel your lower back as well. All that is natural, but if you're feeling too much on your lower back, either slow it down, drop the weights, or just kind of ease up a little bit. Okay? So down slowly, all the way down to your shoelaces. Breathe on the way back up. So that's the Romanian deadlift. The next exercise is a step up. So for a step up, use your chair. If you have any issues, do something a little shorter, okay? Maybe a step on your stairs, okay? For the step up, you want to make sure your heel's making contact with whatever you're stepping on. You don't want to just like be on your toes right here, okay? So pressing your heel into whatever you're stepping on. You're going to breathe out on the way up. Step up, come back down. Step up, come back down. On the step up, it's important to breathe, okay? The step ups can really get your heart rate up. It's almost like cardio as well. Remember, we're trying to do this workout quick, so we kind of keep the heart rate going, and we're working cardiovascularly anyway, especially after that good warm-up you guys had. So breathing out every time you step up is important, but also when you're coming down, you want to come down slowly and just absorb the shock. You never want to land on a straight joint. That's a sure way to injure yourself. So when you're stepping back, ease into it and land softly. Land softly before you step back up, okay? The breathing is important. Again, in the home workout, we're just doing as many as you can. You just go until you tire out. You do one leg, then the other, and then move on. The last exercise in this little combo is hamstrings on a chair. So you would just position yourself on your mat, and then you're going to put your heels into the chair, hip width apart. You're down like so, resting your neck. You can balance yourself by holding on the floor. What you want to do is press your heels into the chair to lift your hips up. Not just lifting your hips up, it's pressing your heels to lift your hips up. The pressing your heels is what's going to engage your hammies. You want to start at a perfect 90-degree angle right here, and then press up and lift, come down slow. Press up and lift, come down slow. Just like so. This is a good exercise. If you want to make it a little more challenging, you could place some dumbbells on your hips, but don't do that right now. Do that only when you get better at this exercise in this workout and you feel like you need more of a challenge, okay? Up and down like so. Just go until we're tired and try your best to focus the tension on your hammies rather than say your lower back. So those are all the exercises. And so just like the other workout, we're just going to repeat every exercise we just did in the same order. You start with the squat pulse, you go to lunges and Romanian deadlift, a couple more step ups, and then hit the hamstrings again, okay? You repeat them 2 more times. So it's doing every exercise 3 times until you tire out. Once you're done, you can do plyometrics if you have good knees. Now, that's really important. It's only if you have good knees. If you don't have strong knees, or you're kind of questionable about it, you probably shouldn't do it, or you should probably wait until you get better at this workout, you strengthen up your knee joint before you try them. Plyometrics are great. They're just perfect for sports. I mean, any sports team will have you do them. They get great results, but if you don't have healthy joints, there is just, a little bit of risk involved. Okay, so plyometrics are all about loading up the muscles and then exploding out of it. We're going to do 2 kinds. We're going to do a jump squat and a jump lunge. For the jump squat, you want to set yourself up in a squat, hip to shoulder width apart. Just like the pulses, you're going to reach back like you're reaching for a squat rather than going down forward. And then you want to use momentum to jump up, and then when you're landing, you want to land as slow as you can. So it looks something like this, okay? You start your squat, you jump, land in the squat. Jump, land in the squat. Plyometrics are all about absorbing the shock, landing softly that is, and then shooting out and exploding out of there, okay? The softer you land, the better, because it's going to load up your muscles. So the softer you're landing when you're landing, it's going to make it a more challenging exercise, but also a safer exercise. So it's definitely the way to do it. I like to swing my hands when I do it because it creates momentum. So I'll show you one more time. We swing the hands back on the way down, up on the way up. The breathing is really key on this one. You want to breathe out every time you jump, okay? And land as softly as possible. We're going to go for 15 jump squats. Try your best to get to 15. You don't have to, try your best to. And then we'll rest a few seconds and move on to a jump lunge. The jump lunge has even more risk involved than jump squats, so be careful. You're going to be in this perfect lunge position. Trying to keep your knee right here on your toe and then heels off the ground. Here too, swinging the hands is gonna help. All you're gonna do is you're gonna go down to your lunge, switch, switch, switch. You're breathing at the same time. Breathing out when you jump, trying to land as soft as you can. On this one especially, I really feel like swinging the hand helps a bit. So down when you come down, up when you switch. That's it. So on this one we're going to do 20, which is just 10 on each leg. Don't overdo it. Then once you finish, just shake out the legs a little bit and go back to the jump squats. Here too, we're trying to do 3 sets of each. Do the best you can. Plyometrics and jump squats and lunges really have a way of tiring you out quick. So do the best you can and ease into it and only do the full amount of reps once you really feel confident and good about it, okay? So once you finish, we have a little bit of oblique work, okay? There is some good twisting motions in dragon boating, so obliques are important. So the first one we're gonna do is an oblique plank. You can do this on a chair or on the ground. The chair is just a little bit easier, okay? So I'm gonna demonstrate right here on my bench. You wanna position yourself so your forearm is on the bench, and from this position, you're gonna lift your whole body up, just like so. What's important on this one is that your elbow is in line with your shoulder. You don't wanna be down this way, because that's just too much pressure on your shoulder. You wanna be one foot on top of the other. You can make it easier like this if you'd like, okay? On this exercise, it is a core exercise. We're working the obliques, but the rest of your core is keeping you up in this position. So any core exercise is even more important to drawing the belly button, okay? You can just hold, or you can go up and down, moving the hips. Up and down works a little bit better. So I like to go up and down for a few, and then just hold, okay? You can hold this way, or put your hand down. If you want to do these on the ground, it looks exactly the same. Except you're right here. On the ground, you have just a few more options to make it easier for you. You can use this hand, but you can also do them from your knees. And that's just an easier way to do it. It's probably a good idea to maybe start with these guys and then progress and move up to other ones, okay? So up and down with the hips until you tire. On this exercise, it's more important to go up. Reach the hips up high than it is to go down. If you go down too low, it kind of can hurt your back a little bit. So you do one side, then you switch. Other side, obviously you do a few, okay? And then, for this exercise, we want to do 3 sets, but we want to just do them back to back. You know, it takes a little bit to get into this exercise, so you just do one side, then the other, then one side, then the other. 3 sets, till you tire, back to back to back to back to back to back, till you get to 6. The other oblique exercise we're going to do is an oblique twist. So for this one, you can use a band, only if you have one. If you don't have one, that's okay. You know, maybe get one in the future, and you can also potentially do this with the dumbbell, but it works a lot better with the band. So the band, we're going to do this, straighten it out, and then we're going to tie it up to something like a post. I'll just set it up right here like so, and then pull the handle through, pull back, and now it's secure. Now it's tightened up. I'm going to pull out this way, make sure there's good tension on the band to begin with. I like to place myself in this position. This will make your oblique twist work a lot better if you open up your obliques to this side. So that's why you want to be stepping this way. You want this foot out because this is the way you're twisted and your obliques are opened up. Drawing your belly button real tight. Any core exercise you want to engage the core. Then I'm going to go grab the handles like so, right at the level of my mid-chest, drawing the core, open up my torso, and then I'm going to twist. And I'm breathing out as I twist. The goal is to keep the tension. So you have obvious tension when you're twisting out, and then you want to create tension just when you're coming back, okay? Just like all the other exercises, don't sneak in a break. If you twist too much this way, your obliques aren't working. If you twist too much this way, I lose tension on the band, okay? So keep the tension tight, don't twist too much. Remember, obliques and any kind of core work should be pretty short range of motion because your obliques and your abs really don't move that much. So keep it where you feel it. So I'm going to go one side here till I tire out, and then I'll switch. Other side, see I switch my legs, and I'm twisting this way, okay? Here too, we're doing 3 sets, but we're just going back to back to back to back. So I do the right, do the left, and come back to the right till I get to 3 on each side. Okay? And then once you finish that, we're gonna do a little bit of core work, lower back work, and ab work. The very first one is, let's see, it's on all fours. This is the one we did at the boot camp, but I'm not quite sure what the name is. I'm sure it does have a name, I just don't know what it is, right? So you start on all fours, but it does work very well. You start on all fours, and you're just gonna extend one arm and the opposite leg. So you're gonna go, extend out, pause for 1 second, come back down slowly with a lot of control, and switch. Pause for one, come down slow, and switch. For this exercise, it's really important to engage the core. You really, really want to tighten up your stomach, and then once you're in this position, you come down slow with a lot of control. We're just going to alternate right here. For this one, you don't really have to go till you tire out. I like to do something like 20, something like 10 on each, okay? Sounds about good, until you get a good burn. After this, you're going to move on to an up and down for your lower back. You're going to be in this position, and then from here, put your forehead on your hands, look straight down so that you're not tensing up your neck. And then you're going to lift your hands and your feet at the same time, engage your lower back, and just hold for 1 second, okay? Breathe out, hold for one, come down slowly. Hold for one, come down slowly. Hold for one, come down slowly. The breathing is important on this one. You want to breathe out when you lift yourself up because of the pressure your body's putting on your stomach right now, okay? The next exercise is the 1-2 crunch. So 1-2 crunch is a pretty simple crunch, but pretty effective. You're going to start this way, arms behind your head to support your neck, keep a little space in between your chin and the top of your chest, and then you're going to lift up on one, go as high as you can on two, and then come down slowly to keep the tension, not taking a break at the bottom. So we'll try it again. 1, 2, come down slow. 1, 2, come down slow. That's it. Nice and easy, nice and slow, not a difficult crunch, something that's easy to do at home. Do a few till you tire out, then you're going to rest a few seconds, and the last exercise we have in this group of combo is a crunch pulse. Crunch pulse is basically starting at 2 and just pulsing up and down. On this one, you just stay fully flexed, so really short range of motion, and you're just staying up here. On this crunch and on the 1-2 crunch, the goal up here is to push your lower back into the floor. If you push your back into the floor, it will support your back, but it will also contract your abs, okay? So get to the top and just pulse until you tire out, okay? Once you finish that one, you go back to the beginning. You do all four of those exercises 2 more times, and then you finish out with some stretches, okay? Maybe a hamstring stretch, a quadricep stretch, maybe an adductor muscle, and a calf, okay? And that's about it, guys. That's your second home workout. That's for the legs. And yeah, do the best you can. Remember, you don't have to do the whole workout. What's important is consistency. Coming back a few times a week. We're trying to get 3 of these a week. That's what gets results, is being consistent with these and with your Dragon Boat practices, obviously. And if you do that, you will have a great season. And I truly believe that you're going to have do the best you can, okay? So, proud of you guys for doing your work, and looking forward to the next boot camp, okay? Talk to you soon. Thanks.